On to some fresh developments that we are tracking. Lebanon will be holding talks with Israel on the disputed borders issue. The talks will be mediated by the United Nations on their disputed land and maritime borders. The United States will act as a facilitator during the talks, which are due to be held in the southern Lebanon border town of Nakora. The neighboring countries, which are technically in a state of war, have competing claims to disputed land and maritime areas, including what may be energy-rich waters. And joining us live on the broadcast is Amichai Stein, diplomatic correspondent of CAN TV, joining us from Israel. Hi, tell us more about the ramifications that these talks will actually hold for the region. Resolving the dispute, if at all, would be a significant political achievement and could also mitigate risk for energy companies looking to drill in this volatile region.
So first of all, it's going to be the first direct talks between Israel and Lebanon in 30 years. This is a huge story right now. And really, the U.S. Special Envoy David Shanker really went from Beirut to Jerusalem in the last 2 years to try and initiate these talks on behalf of the Israeli side. It's the Energy Minister Yuval Steinitz, which will head the talks. And Shanker really tried to move the talks. And last year, it seems that the talks on the maritime border and the decision who will get what in the gas, for example, reservoirs in the area, seemed that it's going to initiate talks, and in the last moment it was cancelled. And now the talks are going ahead. It's a joint statement, one from Lebanon and one from Jerusalem at the same time. This was published, and it comes in a very interesting time because Lebanon is in a very difficult economic situation. Not many countries want at this point to invest in Lebanon. They're telling them, if you want us to invest in Lebanon, you need to take Hezbollah, the terror organization, out from the government. And so this is a very interesting move. And it comes also 2 months after the Beirut explosion, which seems at this point the Lebanese government understood that they need to go ahead with these talks because they need the money. And what happens right now, because the waters in the specific areas where you have gas and other things, reservoirs, what happens is that no foreign companies want to come and drill and search. And only after there is agreement between Israel and countries, then foreign companies will come and then the money will start flowing to Lebanon. So that's why the Lebanese government understood they have no really other option.
Right, multiple issues that will be on the table, but also help us better understand, Amichai, these are disputed border areas that we are talking about. Which specific border areas are we talking about here?
So we are talking on the maritime border, on the water border between Israel and Lebanon. We're not talking about land border, we are talking about the water borders. On the side of the two countries, there is a dispute exactly where the line is going, and in this area there's a lot of gas underneath the ocean. And like I said, no big company, no international company wanted to come to drill or check in these areas because it were disputed. Even areas that were for sure Lebanese, no foreign companies wanted to come again because of the story of this dispute. So the Lebanese government didn't really have a choice, and they wanted the money, and we're talking about a lot of money from these kinds of drills, and that's why they understood they need to come to an agreement or start talks with Israel on some kind of agreements so foreign companies can come and start drilling, because the Lebanese economic situation is very, very bad right now.
Right. As you earlier touched upon the aspect of Hezbollah coming on board, will that be an issue at all?
I think, again, we are not hearing until now any comment from Hezbollah on this announcement, but we can speculate two things. The Lebanese government probably wouldn't have gone to this kind of decision without an agreement from Hezbollah. Even though Hezbollah won't say it publicly, behind closed doors, we can estimate that Hezbollah said to the Lebanese government, we understand, go with these talks and begin them. And it seems like maybe Hezbollah understood at this point, again, because of the explosion, that several we have reports that several that claiming that it was Hezbollah ammonium nitrate that exploded. So Hezbollah feels a lot of blame on him right now, when he understood he can't say no probably to a move that will give money to Lebanon again after this explosion. So all this comes right now to this really historic announcement that there will be talks between Israel and Lebanon on the maritime border.
Ahmed Shaistan, appreciate very much for joining us on the broadcast with those perspectives.